Did you know that every single year, at least 21 million girls between the ages of 15 and 19 get pregnant, and about 12 million of them give birth? Welcome to All Round Health Talk with your girl, Dr. Onyinye. Remember, this is a channel where our health is our priority. Today, we're going to be talking about teenage pregnancy, how this affects us as a society, and how it affects the teenage girl, and how it affects the infant that comes as a result of this pregnancy. Now, before we go into today's topic, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful to all of you who have been subscribing over the weeks. And to all of you who have been here since day one, thank you so much. If you know you haven't subscribed and you're seeing this video for the first time, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and become a part of our family. Now, I mentioned that 21 million girls on a yearly basis between the ages of 15 and 19 get pregnant. But something you do not know is that 50% of this 21 million girls, that is roughly 10.5 million of these girls, have unwanted pregnancy or unintended pregnancy. 55% of this 10.5 million unwanted pregnancy end in abortion, and mostly unsafe abortion. Now, these numbers are alarming. To understand this topic very well, we need to know who a teenager is, and we need to know what a teenage pregnancy is. Now, a teenager is a person between the ages of 13 and 19 years. And teenage pregnancy is a pregnancy in a girl who is between the age of 13 and 19. Now, why are teenage girls getting pregnant? There are so many perceptions or personal ideas as to why teenage girls are getting pregnant. But studies shows that there are different causes of teenage pregnancy. And the reason why these numbers are increasing are the following. Number one, child marriages. Did you know that as of 2021, the number of child brides, we're talking about little girls who were given out in marriage, there were 650 million of them as of 2021. And the highest numbers of teenage pregnancy occur in sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. Now, these little girls who should be in school, who should still be kids, are married off to older men. They find themselves in a marriage where they do not have a right to decide to do family planning. They do not have a right to say, I don't want to get pregnant now. They do not have a right to use anticonceptives. They are forced by these men to have babies, even while they themselves are still babies. So the first cause of teenage pregnancy is because of child marriages in different regions of the world. Number two is the limitation that is placed on the female child. In different parts of the world, the female child does not have a right to education. They have no employment or educational prospects. Their biggest goal in life is to get married and have kids. And so many of these teenage girls just want to get married because that's what society tells them they are good for. And so not having education is a very significant cause of teenage pregnancy, because study shows that girls who are not educated are 5 times more likely to be mothers compared to girls who are educated. So we need to educate our girls. Number 3 is the inaccessibility to anticonceptives. In different parts of the world, female children or females are not allowed to use anticonceptives. They are stigmatized. They are treated badly when they try to get anticonceptives. It's actually like a shameful thing for most girls in different parts of the world. And so how do they prevent teenage pregnancy if they are limited or prohibited from getting access to anticonceptives? Another cause of teenage pregnancy is the lack of sex education and education about reproductive health. For some reason, sex and reproduction seem to be a very delicate topic that we do not want to educate our children on. Parents do not want to educate their children. Schools are skeptical about it. Religious institutions do not want to educate girls. How do girls know that teenage pregnancy can be fatal to their well-being? I am all for abstinence, but how do we teach them abstinence if we do not want to talk about sex education and reproductive health? We need to start educating our girls and our boys about sex and about reproduction. And last but not the least, child sexual abuse. According to the World Health Organization, in 2021, at least 120 million girls less than the age of 20 were subjected to sexual abuse by someone other than their partners. If we take out the girls that are not educated, the girls who do not have access to anticonceptives, if we take them out of the equation, we have 120 million girls that are being sexually abused. we need to start talking about teenage pregnancy and all these causes of teenage pregnancy. So it's not about the girl child who was careless or promiscuous. We have 120 million of them who are being sexually abused. So these are the causes of teenage pregnancy. Now, what are the impacts of teenage pregnancy? Teenage pregnancy is going to impact this girl negatively. It's going to impact the infant that she's going to give birth to negatively. It's going to impact her family negatively. It's going to impact the society too. What can happen to a teenager who is pregnant? Because this is a teenager who is still developing. So her body is not 100% prepared to carry an infant, to carry a newborn, to carry a fetus, and let that fetus develop in her. One of the negative impacts, the risk for teenage pregnant girls is the maternal mortality. The rate at which teenage pregnant girls die from pregnancy complications, from pregnancy itself, is increasing. Even for an adult woman, pregnancy is not something that is easy, not to talk of a teenage girl. So these girls can die from the pregnancy itself. They can die from complications during pregnancy or during childbirth or even after childbirth. They can die from unsafe abortions. They can die from excessive bleeding during childbirth. So that's one of the negative impacts on the girl. Another negative impact of the girl is dropping out of school. In many parts of the world, a teenager who is pregnant will have to drop out of school to focus on her pregnancy and to focus on taking care of her newborn. And so we're limiting the education of girls. The more teenage pregnant girls we have, the lesser the girls that are being educated. Another negative impact is the societal rejection and stigma that is associated with being a teenage pregnant girl. People are going to bully you. People are going to talk about you. And all of that can lead to depression, can lead to anxiety. It can lead to suicidal ideations. All of these are negative. There are also other complications that come with pregnancy, such as preeclampsia, where a pregnant woman's blood pressure can rise excessively, and this can even lead to death. We have infections during the period of childbirth or after childbirth. We have systemic infections that can cause sepsis and lead to the death of this girl. So there is a negative impact on the girl child. But also, the infant, this newborn that is going to come out of this teenage pregnancy, is also going to be impacted negatively. Just like in the case of the girl, there's infant mortality. Many of the babies that are born to teenage mothers die during pregnancy or during childbirth or after childbirth. Also, most of them tend to be preterm babies. They tend to be premature babies, and premature babies have so many complications, even up to their adulthood. Most of these babies will tend to be born with a low body weight, which can impose its own risk and complications on the health of this baby. Also, there are neonatal conditions that can occur during childbirth or during the developmental process of this fetus. And all of that can have negative impacts on the baby. What about the family? This can cause division in the family. It can cause economic problems in the family. Some girls are disowned by their families. So the family is also impacted. The society is impacted because death rates increase in young girls and in infants. A lot of girls leave school. So what about the impact that those girls would have made in their communities if they were educated? So all of us are being affected one way or the other by teenage pregnancy. So what can we do to prevent teenage pregnancy? We've seen that the causes of teenage pregnancy are deeply rooted. So what can we do? First of all, we need to abolish certain traditions and policies and laws that allow children to be married off to adult men. That is the first step. The second step is for us to be willing to talk about sex and reproduction to our girls and boys. We need to educate our girls and boys. If we do not educate them, if they do not have the information, they are going to make the wrong decisions. If we want them to be abstinent, we need to teach them about it. We need to make anticonceptives available. I am all for abstinence, but the reality is that we're not going to get all the teenagers to be abstinent. So to prevent abortion, to prevent them dying from unsafe abortion, we have to make anticonceptives available to them. Also, we need to educate our girls. We've seen that girls who are not educated are more likely to become teenage mothers. So we need to educate our girls. We need policies that make education available for girls and boys. We all have to work together. So if this topic has been a reflection for you, I hope that you're willing to share it to others so that we're all enlightened. This is the reason why I have my channel, so that I can educate people on these important aspects: sex education, reproductive health, because many people do not have access to this information, and we all have a right to be educated about these things. So if you would love to support me in what I do, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because the more subscribers we have, the more the message gets out there. And don't forget to give a thumbs up. Show me that you like what I'm doing and motivate me to do more. And if you have any question, any comment, you know that you can leave it in the comment section. It's a safe space, and I'll always get back to you. Thank you for being with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.